My friend, do you feel that you spent a whole chunk of your life just stuck in survival? Just like locked into just trying to get by, just trying to just get through the day. When deep inside, you know that there is more to life. You know that life, because we know deep inside of us, even if we don't experience it on daily basis, we know that we deserve to have more, to live with joy, to have hopes, to have dreams, to be just connected with people who get you for who you really are on the inside. That's the beauty of life. And it is especially vital for people like you and me who have been touched by trauma. People like you and me who want to heal. Whether that's how you think about it, whether those are the words that you use, but the truth is that we're in this together, right? I mean, the research tells us, all the studies point to 7 to 8 people out of 10 have had one major traumatic event at least once in their lives. 7, maybe 8 out of 10. That's most of us. That's not just weird people out there. It's you and me. And I think that's so empowering. It's so empowering because we're in this together. But what is the difference is that so often we suffer alone. Isn't it true? Isn't it true that you spend so much of your life suffering alone? I know I have. Whether that's been after going through rape as a child and not being able to have sex and not being able to tell anyone about it because for the fear of people, I don't know, judging me, not wanting to be around me, living with all of these panic attacks and anxiety and not knowing how to cope with life and feeling so alone, like nobody gets me and what I'm going through. This, as much as my story is my own, as much as your story is unique to you, but there are so many struggles that we have in common and so many touch points that bring us together. Moments of doubt, of shame, of losing control, but also moments of winning, moments of standing up for yourself, moments of doing what's right for you, even when everything around you falls apart, even when people around you don't even believe in you, even when people are laughing in your face. I know I had that. People humiliating you, and yet we're here. We keep going. And we find ways to do what's right. I want to honor you for surviving, for keeping going in life when things are tough. And people may not always appreciate it or see that or know about your struggle. That's why it's so vital to get out of that survival. Right? It's so vital because we get so good at it. Right? We are stuck in that mindset because we've been hurt. That's normal, right? It's normal because we get used to trying to survive, but the problem is that it's a hard place to get out of. Because we stay in that place. We stay in that place of just trying to get by. And I think it's because we don't have the skills. We don't have the belief that we can break through it, that we can live a life that is, full of joy, that is full of just living with purpose, of meaningful life, meaningful for you, right? That's different for everyone, but meaningful in a way that's meaningful for yourself. That's just where you can have fun and just not overthink it. Just be in the place where you're just being your true self, where you are being creative, right? Whatever way that is for you, whether you consider yourself to be a creative person, you've got that in you. There's just so much. You got so much to give, my friend. You may not even realize this, because we're so used to talking ourselves and bringing ourselves down, and sometimes saying or feeling the most disparaging things about ourselves that we would never treat other people in this way. We'd never say or think or talk down to other people the way we do with ourselves. And that ain't fair. That ain't right. So we need to build up the skills, but also the mindset. How do we approach this survival mode and flip it to instead, how do we thrive? How do we just live a life with joy, purpose, life where you belong, with love, with just connectedness, community, a life where you know where you're going and you're having a great time doing it. So how do we do that? Well, I really believe that the mindset is all about three simple things. I call it the ABC of healing from trauma. And the A is acceptance. I mean, so much of our life we live in denying our own truth, our own story. Why? Because it's hard sometimes, right? Those times when I got hurt, when things didn't go my way, those are difficult times. Times when I really struggled and fell down. And sometimes we just don't have that awareness of what things are like. I remember the first time I've done therapy, which was just like a year ago, right? It's just been changed my life. But the first time I've done therapy is, I remember we sat down with my psychologist, and she said to me, "Joe, let's go through just look at your life. We'll do what she called the trauma map, and we're just going to look at your life and look at just kind of major times or moments where kind of things were really difficult, right? We're just going to kind of map it out. Let's start, at the beginning. Let's talk about, time you were born. I mean, do you know what the pregnancy was like? And then just kind of go on from there." And I said to her, "Yeah, well, I mean, things were tough, and I nearly died, right? There was really a traumatic birth for my mom. And then, when I was 3 months old, my father left us forever because he was, it was all too much for him. He didn't want to be around, And as I'm talking to her about all of this, I'm kind of going, hold on a second, we haven't even started, and that's the crazy thing, right? I thought I had this kind of one thing that I kind of wanted to get help and support around. But when I started to look at my life, turned out there was a lot of things, and it helped me to connect and piece together this overarching kind of story of my life. And not from a perspective of feeling sorry for myself, but I was like, wow, I mean, I can totally see this totally explains why things are the way they are and why things were the way they were. Like it totally makes sense now. It isn't just like brushing it off and going, oh, well, that's life. But now it's in the context of impact of trauma. Now I see, okay, like, how can I, what can I do about it now? Maybe we can go and deal with some of these memories. Maybe we can go and deal with some of these experiences through therapy, but also through talking about it with people I care about the most. But most of all, it's just having that kind of, that true narrative of your life, reconnecting and accepting, this is who I am. Not from a perspective, again, of feeling sorry for yourself, but you are who you are. Your sum of experiences, your challenges, your struggles, but also your hopes, your dreams. That's the person you are. And things that you've achieved despite or in spite of those moments when things were falling apart. Those things that you being an awesome human being because and in spite of things that have happened. You found strength, found the hope to hold on to keep going despite some of the horrible and awful things that happened to you. That's powerful. That's what acceptance is. It's accepting your own true self, your own true story, and its ups and downs and things going crazy. That's life. That's you and me. That's acceptance, my friend. And what's powerful about acceptance is when we accept who we really are, that gives us an opportunity to also change, isn't it? Because we can't change until we accept that things are the way they are. Isn't it true? Like, we can't change. We gotta accept that first. So, the ABC of healing from trauma, A is acceptance, the B is bravery. I think it takes a lot of courage to say, you know what? I want to live a good life. You know what? I don't want to just survive. I want to keep going. I want to live life. I want to have more joy in my life. I want to have more love, connection. I want to have more meaning in my life. Like, that takes courage. That takes courage because it ain't easy, because that's not what we're used to. And yet it is necessary because of all the things that we talked about. And you've got it in spades. Because think back on all the times that things were falling apart, and yet you stood your ground. Things were crazy, and yet you found a way to keep going. What was the time that happened in your life? Just think of one. Think of one time right now. I want you to pick one time in your life when things were just falling apart, and yet you stood your ground. Maybe you didn't go out and just conquer the world, but you stayed true to yourself. When did that happen? That's so vital. Staying true to yourself. That's key. That's brave. And another way to really be brave in your day-to-day life, to start breaking out even more out of survival, is by sharing your true self. By which I mean to say, sharing your thoughts, sharing your feelings, sharing what's important to you, like your dreams, your hopes. Because let me ask you this, how many people in your life genuinely know what you really feel right now, what you're going through at this moment in time? How many people right now in your life, I mean it, How many people right now don't really know how you feel? What do you really care about? Like, what are you hoping that happens? What are like your innermost desires? Because I think they need to know that. Because sometimes we just beat it down, we hold it ourselves. Sometimes we don't always know what that is. But I think speaking it out or getting that out of ourselves, every moment you say what you really think, what you believe in, share your opinion, share your truth, share how you really feel, that is a moment of bravery. That is a moment of honor for yourself. Every single time you do them, no matter how small, that's courage. And then it brings us out of that survival towards thriving, because you're now doing things that are in line with you, despite all the stuff that's happened or may be happening right now. You're standing up for you. You're being brave for you, because that's what we do. That's what we do, us together as survivors. That's bravery. And the C in ABC of healing from trauma is compassion. You know, so often we get hard on ourselves. We get tough on ourselves. We say the most horrific things to ourselves. We don't even appreciate ourselves. We don't maybe you don't even give yourself sometimes the time of day. You don't even think about your experience, your past, your present, where you want to go. We just brush ourselves off. We don't give yourself credit for what you deserve, for the incredible things that you've done, that other people don't know about, and maybe will never will. That don't matter. What matters is you. And having that compassion for yourself, for all that you experience, how you have coped with that, how you have just brought it out. You're still here. You're still here. You're one of us. We're in this together. I honor your experience, my friend. Because of everything that you've been through, I champion you for being here. Being here with us. That's where we're going. And we're going through this together to live a life of joy, of purpose, of belonging, and having that mindset of accepting our own story, of sharing our truth, being brave, and of compassion to yourself and others. People around us, if there's 7 out of 10 of us are, living with trauma, they're having compassion. The other day I was driving on the road and someone was just, I was in an area that I didn't really know about, so I was just kind of driving a little bit more kind of slow. I was having to look around and somebody just started beeping me, and this guy just drove around me, and this person opened the window and just started just screaming, just like swearing at me, just screaming, ah, And I was like, even maybe a year ago, I would have gone angry. I would have probably screamed something back. But now I thought, you know what? I don't know what this person's story is. I don't know what they've been through, but clearly something is causing them to be this angry and this unhappy at some random person they don't even know, So I had I was able in that moment to find some compassion for this person. Now, I'm no saint. I can't say it happens all of the time. I get easily set off on so many times, but every moment we do find that compassion, we find a way to move forward. That's kind of the mindset I believe we all need, that will brings us out of being stuck in survival and into thriving and living life on your terms. Because healing is living today. That's what it is, isn't it? Healing is living today, living your life for you, my friend. That's what it's about. And the skills and the abilities and that belief in ourselves, I think we need to develop that. That's what I teach in my, and my coaching program. It's a curriculum where I take 12 weeks to build up the skills of compassion, of creativity, of confidence, of connectedness, of living with purpose, right? Bring that in because you're not used to it. And bring that up so that it just really just fast track it and take it to the point in your life where you can move forward with grace, with belief in yourself, and things that you care about the most. So if you want to find out more, you can check it out on powertobehappy.com. That's powertobehappy.com. You can click on the Clarity First link to find out about my coaching program to see if this might be something that is right for you. But I want to cheer you on, my friend. And I want to say to you that we all, especially those of us who've been touched by trauma, we deserve to be happy. We deserve to be happy. We deserve to live a life filled with joy, filled with fun, filled with sense of connection. We deserve that. You deserve to be happy, my friend. To see clarity in everything that you do. To show up at your best so that you know and prove to yourself that you are enough. And to hold on to hope. No matter how crazy life gets out there, that things can and do change for the better. My name is Bakhmoutski. I want to thank you for being here with me today. I'll speak to you soon.